And a happy LA takeover weekend for you and for us. This is Steve with On the Ring Apron, sister show of our Mania Club, part of the Champions of Hope Foundation. And we are here as part of a two premium live event Saturday coming up this weekend in Los Angeles. And we begin with this episode, which will be for WWE slash NXT slash AAA Lucha Libre in Worlds Collide, airing at 3 p.m. Eastern or 12 p.m. Pacific, excuse me. If you're out at the Kia Forum in Los Angeles, should be a fun event to showcase some of the new talent that WWE now has in their arsenal with the recent acquisition of AAA Wrestling, including two title matches that should prove to be most fun between AAA and WWE's best. Let's move on to our picks. If you actually want to be part of the conversation, you can look at the link down below. It's going to appear right up here in just a second. The OTRA's taking back the lead after our last PLE, but it's still anyone's race, so a long way to go as we are in the middle of Season 6. We begin Worlds Collide with a six-man tag team match, the first of two at this event, as WWE slash NXT's best, the LWO, the Latino World Order, team of Dragon Lee, Cruz del Toro, and Joaquin Wilde, will take on AAA's trio of Octagón Jr., Aerostar, and Mr. Iguana. I will, by our admittance, state that our knowledge of AAA Lucha is very limited, as I imagine a number of people from WWE Universe is. However, it doesn't stop us from taking the time to do our research. Mr. Iguana definitely is going to provide some great entertainment in this match, and we obviously know the capacity that the LWO goes under, being trained under the great Lucha Hall of Famer Rey Mysterio. This will prove no doubt to be a fun and exciting, likely opening match of this event. But all three of us do have the LWO going over in this match. We do feel that there are opportunities for AAA to be able to get some wins in here, and you'll note that as we go along. But we do feel that it will be a good opportunity to showcase exactly what AAA has, but we do feel that the combined use of LWO will prove to be the determining factor in this opening match. When we move on to our second match of the evening, it will be a tag team match in the women's division as former NXT Women's Champion and former NXT Women's North American Champion Stephanie Vaquer will team with Lola Vice to take on AAA's dynamic female duo of Chik Tormenta and Dalys. Dalys and Chik Tormenta have appeared multiple times on NXT television and have constantly been a thorn in Stephanie Vaquer's side, inevitably proving to be a very critical part of why Vaquer lost the NXT Women's Championship to Jacy Jayne last week. However, setting up for her match and finding a partner proved to not be difficult, as Lola Vice very quickly stepped in to team with Vaquer to challenge the AAA Lucha ladies. Let's see who ultimately we choose in this match. And I don't think, again, it will come as any surprise, as all three of us are going to go with Stephanie Vaquer and Lola Vice to take this win. We think that Vaquer's run is just too strong right now, especially with her not only moving up to Monday Night Raw, but also having qualified for Money in the Bank ladder match later that same evening. Check out our Money in the Bank preview to be able to get a chance to look at that. But we do feel that it would be a great last match for Vaquer to show exactly what she can do as she exits out of NXT, and also begin the build-up for Lola Vice as we go forward. Our third match will be the other six-person tag team match, as another great lucha team from WWE in Legado del Fantasma, led by Santos Escobar, Angel, and Berto, will take on the trio of El Hijo del Dr. Wagner Jr., Pagano, and Psycho Clown. Now, as a person who's not a fan of clowns, This guy seems overly intimidating, but also a bit exciting to watch. And with a name like El Hijo del Dr. Wagner Jr., you're just going to have to find a way to kind of shrink that down a little bit. But we do feel that this will be a very exciting matchup between a lot of people with a great amount of lucha heritage that should prove exciting in the mid-card match unless they choose to open the show with this one. In this matchup, though, we are going to have our first selection by myself and Alyssa for a AAA team, as we are actually going to go with the team of Wagner Jr., Pagano, and Psycho Clown. Kia is going to go with Legado del Fantasma. The primary reason for at least myself choosing against Del Fantasma is not necessarily because I think they are not the better team, but because you are seeing the cracks, especially with the arguments with Santos Escobar and his two, apprentices, if you will. And we do think that those cracks will ultimately be the difference and will allow the AAA team to be able to take the win. In our fourth match, which will be the first of two championship matches on the card. This will be the only one defending an NXT championship, as All Ego Ethan Page will defend his newly won NXT North American Championship against NXT superstar Javon Evans, WWE main roster competitor Rey Fénix, and also AAA's Laredo Kid. This has a very similar vibe to the first Worlds Collide if you go back a few years ago in Houston, where ultimately you ended up seeing what would be the start of the run of J.D. McDonough, who back then known as the Irish Ace, would have the opportunity and would successfully win the Cruiserweight Championship in a match very similar to this one. Will they pull a similar card with someone like a Laredo Kid, or maybe use this as an opportunity to, no pun intended, springboard Javon Evans or Rey Fénix up into the title picture by winning the championship? Now, noting that the winner of this match is scheduled to face Sean Legacy from Evolve just a couple of days from now on NXT television. So whoever does end up winning the championship is not going to have long before they have to turn around and defend the championship again. We move to our selections for this one. Myself and Kia are both going with Ethan Page, while Alyssa is going to go with Javon Evans. I do believe that, especially with Sean Legacy providing such a strong point in terms of him trying to compete for the first men's Evolve Championship, and also earning the opportunity to get a North American Championship match so early in his time with NXT, we do feel that a heel competitor will be the better choice. And while we don't necessarily discourage Evans, Laredo Kid, or Rey Fénix from being able to be a good competitor, I just feel that Ethan Page is going to ultimately be the better option when it comes to not only winning this match in terms of escaping against three faces, but also being the better foil against Sean Legacy later in the same week. And then moving to the last match, where we do believe this will be our main event of the live event being held on YouTube, exclusively on YouTube. So this one will definitely be interesting. But it will be WWE's Chad Gable getting an opportunity at the AAA Mega Championship, as he will take on the current champion El Hijo del Vikingo. Vikingo has appeared multiple times on Monday Night Raw, specifically scouting both Chad Gable and his counterpart, El Grande Americano, who will have the opportunity to compete in Money in the Bank later that same evening. However, Chad Gable, no slouch to great wrestling, has always lacked one thing, and that is that first major singles championship. And while he has competed multiple times for the Intercontinental Championship, he has yet to be able to get across. Could he require the possibility of going to a place like AAA and winning his first major championship there? Let's see our picks. And I'm not sure if it's necessarily a surprise or not, but Kia and Alyssa are both going to go with Chad Gable to win this match. They do feel that putting the championship on Gable would be the best route that you can go with. I, however, am going to stick with Vikingo to retain the championship, I do feel that if you're going to have this good mutual bond, the idea is to put a talent like Chad Gable up against AAA's mega champion and see exactly what he is capable of. Vikingo, no slouch in the lucha ranks, and will certainly prove to be the best foil against Chad Gable. I really do feel, even with Money in the Bank being this weekend, that this could be the match that steals the weekend and what people will be talking about when the weekend is over, unless there is like a very surprise cash in or something. But I do like Vikingo to retain his championship. Now, of course, as I noted earlier, this is the first of two live events that are going to be held this weekend. This one starting at 12 p.m. If you're out in Los Angeles, or 3 o'clock Eastern, and it is exclusively only on YouTube. So no Peacock, no Netflix, no nothing like that. Specifically on WWE's YouTube channel. So check out something, because anybody, as I said, even at the beginning, I'm not 100% familiar, so even I'm interested to go in to exactly see what new talent WWE has just brought in. And I'm excited to see a very fast-paced and very fun way to start what is going to be an LA takeover just hours before Money in the Bank. If you want to see our Money in the Bank preview, it's going to be going live here just a couple of hours after this one, so be sure to go check it out and catch our picks there. And if you're interested in getting involved, let's try that again. There we go. We're right over there. That's the YouTube link to go into, youtube.com/@ontheringapron. And you can be able to be a part of it, choose your selections, choose your picks, and then see exactly who ends up becoming victorious and compete with us all season long. We go all the way to WrestleMania of next year, and we are in our 6th season of doing this, with the OTRAs winning their first championship last year. So just because we're the so-called experts does not necessarily mean that you guys are not capable of hanging right there with us. We're human just like anyone else. So definitely make sure your voice is heard and that you have an opportunity to go vote. But with that, I'm going to step away for a few minutes and give you guys a chance to reflect on these picks, but then go check out our Money in the Bank video. Hey, already wearing my green. I'm ready for money. But either way, you guys have a great rest of your weekend, and we'll see you, well, I'll see you in just a few minutes over on the Money in the Bank preview. This is Steve with On the Ring Apron. See you in a bit.